And so this is a part of a big project called the Cooperative Dispute Resolution and Exploration Research and Technology. There are 16 different cooperative institutes around the country. Each of them essentially is set up to directly partner with NOAA for specific goals. CYWR's specific goals are to explore frontier regions in the eastern continental shelf in the Gulf of Mexico, to improve understanding of vulnerable coral reef ecosystems, and especially extending that into the deeper coral reef ecosystems and networks underground, to develop advanced underwater technologies for sensing that environment, and then lastly to translate all of that into outreach and distribution opportunities for students to the general public. So it's a true consortium. It's led by FAU Harbor Branch. We have a co-managing partner in University of North Carolina Wilmington, and 2 additional partners of University of Miami, and that's our international leverage team. So all this came together to work on this kind of big overall objective, and what I'm going to talk about is one piece of CYWR that's been taking place over the last 7 years. So we're K7 has a 10-year award, and so far we've had about $11 million to all of the projects in the neighborhood of about $600,000 per semester. So becoming a cooperative to give us an immediate ability to collaborate more directly with our NOAA partners. In fact, this is an incentive integrated itself where we're collaborating directly with the NOAA partners, so there's some cost incentives in terms of overhead and things, but it's a way that the government can really get more bang for their buck while still engaging outside expertise beyond just their own agencies. So in this particular instance, FAU Harbor Branch and UW have partnered with the NOAA Coastal Center for Ocean Science of INCOS, Flower Garden Bank's National Marine Sanctuary. I'll tell you quite a bit more about sanctuary over today. And then lastly, we got the additional funding from the NOAA Coral Reef Conservation Program to fund some of the first few cruises that were involved in this project. So it's been a really excellent way for us to, from the get-go, design the science with a management objective in mind. Frequently, one of the biggest criticisms of science is how we can translate the work that we're doing into positive change. And by working with those researchers and those resource managers from the get-go, we can design studies that can answer the questions they need to answer to effectively manage the resources. So that's how this project was conceived from the outset. So we're here over in FAU Harbor Branch on the East Coast of the Florida area, talking about all the way across the Gulf of Mexico, but it's roughly at the same latitude. So here's what we kind of see here. We take a long drive over to Galveston. We use the fly to kind of get people, so you can kind of plug in. It's about 18 hours. We get there, have 3 hours, unload everything off the van, get all the ship, and head out to sea. It's about a 6-hour run from Galveston out to the Flower Garden Bank's National Marine Sanctuary, which is roughly 105 miles offshore of the coast of Texas. And it's an extensive reef system that essentially is along the edge of this continental shelf, where salt zones sit pushed up through the soft sediment, creating large substrate that corals can renew and settle on over many, many generations. And so it's a relatively old reef system. One of the most interesting things about Flower Garden Bank is that even though its latitude is very high, so for example, here off the coast of FAU Harbor Branch, the only reefs that we have of any significance are deep coral reefs like Dock Land Banks and Lobelia, down deep where they're cold, they're existing without any photosynthesis, and completely driven by heating and water from deep water. Most coral reefs, when we think about them, are shallow and tropical. So Flower Garden Banks, even though it's at our same latitude, gives us enough warming for the Gulf of Mexico that can support a relatively tropical habitat in an otherwise temperate air environment. Everything to keep in mind, anyone have anything with you? Oil rigs. So we are not doing this in a pristine vacuum of the system. In fact, from the middle of East Flower Garden Bank, you can see about 20 oil rigs at night all lit up. In fact, there's even one now non-operational rig that is within the boundaries of Flower Garden Bank that is scheduled for potential removal here shortly. But it's a potential incident for sure. And one of the main reasons to understand the fisheries in this area, understand the ecological resources, is so that we know what we have, we know how we can protect it in light of this extractive use. So the project we're going to talk about today is a little bit of the overall CYWR ease of boating project, and I'll get into what ease of boating means in just a moment. But overall, our objectives are to produce a really detailed, spatially linguistic characterization of multiple areas in this region, both within the sanctuary and in additional banks adjacent to the sanctuary. I'll show you some of those banks on the map in just a little bit. We really want to establish what the baseline fish community structure is for this region, and specifically to tie the habitat structure to the fish that are connected to that habitat. So we have a description called essential fish habitat. Different areas considered essential fish habitat has different protective regulations than an area that does not support active fisheries. We also want to look at the differences between these shallow and deep corals in the same area, because shallow and deep corals are under different threats in different regions. Here off the coast of Florida, is a little bit further south of us, shallow corals are always much more exposed fishing, and traps, anything like that. And generally, any kind of bottom fishing gear of any kind is not allowed in the sanctuary. Now, there's a number of banks that extend eastward along that common margin. And there's three that we really focus on in addition to east and west Margaret Bank: that's Brink, Geyer, and Riverview. One thing someone pointed out, like on this map up, is that most of the shipping traffic goes right along this common margin. So it's around Margaret Banks and it heads in towards Galveston and Houston. So the major shipping road there is right across the farm area of these banks. I'll show you the map again because it's an angle sites. So we use two research vessels to access these sections around 100 miles offshore. The first is called the Martin Panda. It's an amazing boat. It's 84 feet long, completely modern construction with two huge jet drives. So the whole fleet, really the first week of the season, when you get better boat you can do in the neighborhood of about 30 knots. It's incredibly fast boat. But most of the time when we're working on it, we cruise about 17 knots or so because it's more fuel. It's a great boat because it's set up for dual purpose use, using a platform for diving, as well as a really good camera using both guns and cameras. The other thing we use for RV purposes, but the vehicle you're diving off of is really faster. It's a much larger vessel. It can hold many more people. So the big dive teams that look like Navy Foster gets more capability than look like Panda. So I'm going to go through the different methods that we use to explore these. So the first one is operating vehicles or ROVs. So ROVs are small, tethered robot beings that are actively interacting with the surface of the used over. Here's a shot of the Mobot ROV on the left, or Mobot, being deployed off the back of the Panda. So I've got this small tethered robot that's how we control it with operating camera and streaming live data information off that ROV in real time in condition. The Mobot was reconditioned about 2014. Yeah, you can famously see it. You see a year on the level of the ROV. What's built right here on the bridge. So they purchased the ROV on the Rapid ROV and they built it simply in Texas. The previous ROV that we built in 2014 called Super Cam. Essentially, a robot that has a camera, 6 sensors, downward camera, zero definition, kind of full high definition capabilities on the fuel part of it. So everything up pretty much. It's operated, built and operated by the WIC equipment. So, ROV work for me, I will say slightly less rigorous than people do. You gotta learn, it's beautiful, and you spend all day going inside a jungle cave usually watching TV. So, here you can see operation of the ROV is done with multiple joysticks, and for those that are, 30 and 50 yards, please give me a play, and still this watercraft is just not mine. But it has really fine control. I think it's 6 degrees of freedom, so let's go back in. So it's a highly maneuverable instrument. The rest of us get it on the back deck, and while you're recovering board, you spend all day sitting at computers, watching TV, in live communicating with you. And there's two reasons to do this. One is at any given moment, you could have a failure from one people, which you can't come in. The second is there's so much data, so much information trading off the questions, audio, and all of the images. If we don't take at least a general attempt to say, hey, this was a really cool part of time, and it will take us forever to go back through all the video and that's fun again. So live annotation is a way to make us more efficient in processing and using the data later on, especially when we're trying to correlate the timestamps on the video to what you see while we were on board. So in addition to sampling live annotation, we're constantly taking forward-facing video, but primarily to test music community, and with downward-facing still camera to take pictures in 30 seconds. And you get those pictures look a little bit like this, and you zoom in, see those two little red dots right there? They're two parallel scale lasers. We know the exact area of every single image display, so that we can get spatial coverage of anything that's picked up in every single one of those images. So we design creating protocols to maximize the amount of coverage we can get, and try to figure out exactly what's going on. You can see on the other side. Conventional scuba diving. It's easy, it's fun, people are having a blast just from that gaming thing right down here. Technical diving requires a lot more gear. You're going to be in the water for roughly 3 hours. You're going to get very cold. You have to require plenty of breathe. It's more rare. A lot more people go down the positive wind stand. Your games here to breathe them down. And so we'll see that the right on the back case is going to be a lot more serious in focus. And this review today, that's going to be but we always hit the up at some point. So one thing that works really well is as the 10 team is sitting, the 10 team on the 13 right on the edge, so they're going to hang out in the water, all counting, let the bloodstream for a good period of time. So the challenge immediately is we can hand off gear to them, hand off to the crew, and then you move up the boat and leave them, assuming we're Delaware, pushing off the jets. So some of the tech sites look like this with large, deep green corals. Others we don't travel away in any way, shape, or form. And sometimes we even have no indication of infectious diseases, and not be habituated to or dependent upon humans for survival. So there's a pretty common criteria, and the first is a lot of rehabilitated wildlife species end up as chronic captives. There's also a risk of pathogen spread, so when you bring an animal into captivity, there's a risk to the humans who are interfacing with the animal, being exposed to viral diseases. There's also a risk when you reintroduce that animal into their wild population, that they may have picked up diseases during captivity that they would then take back to their population. So those are the downsides. There are a couple other ethical dilemmas that underlie wildlife rehabilitation. There's a lot of research that's been done on these concepts. So the main question is that do we deserve act in the best interest of the animal, or are our best interests our number one focus is on like altruism and makes us feel good to rehabilitate the animal? Also, the question is it humane to rehabilitate a non-releasable wild animal? And also, how do we ensure released animal will survive for wild or keep to the population? Like I said, you need long-term follow-up data that can be expensive to do and difficult to maintain. There's also rehab bias that's obviously worth mentioning. We tend to focus on species that we have a special affinity towards. There's a cute, cuddly bias. We like adorable animals. Who doesn't? There's also a black sheep species bias where we tend to gravitate towards charismatic megafauna and kind of ignore the less charismatic species like snakes and things like that. That may not relate to the species. So the truth about wildlife is that humane graphic euthanasia is often the best option for ensure diversity of wildlife. Euthanasia comes from the Greek word euthanatos, which means good or easy death. And the key to ensuring the welfare of individual wildlife casualties is a proven process triage that enables graphic euthanasia of animals that are considered unlikely to be released back to the wild. Success in this may be judged in terms of preventing unnecessary suffering, whereby a high level of euthanasia can be considered. Once the decision to bring the animal into rehabilitation is specified, and bringing the animal back to health and releasing it to its natural environment, and benefiting from this process in terms of public education and scientific knowledge. So either way, the triage process should be done quickly, animal side, and the decision should be made quickly if you are going to use time. So again, the key to successful rehab is a well-defined triage criteria, which is supported by research. Effective, appropriate intake criteria, which is often species-specific, need highly trained personnel, and lots of infrastructure, facilities, funds, and flexibility, and usually a lot of funding. So those are just some of the overall concepts about rehab, and now I'm going to talk about my favorite part about rehab, which is access. So an important benefit of animals cared for in rehabilitation is the role it signals of ecosystem health. Because rehabilitating wild animals is more accessible, it helps to the developing reservoir of information on medicine that identifies free-ranging wildlife needing health. And this health knowledge is crucial to wildlife conservation, and also veterinarians use skills and knowledge to rehabilitate animals and enhance the survival of conservation, and also in turn to rehabilitate animals in the future better. So some of the things that we learn from access to rehabilitating wild animals is information on physiology, like history, nutrition, behavior, diseases, toxicology, and medicine, including treatment and diagnostics. Wildlife rehabilitation centers can be a valuable resource for the surveillance and monitoring of habitat activity in wildlife, which in free-ranging animals can be complicated and logistically challenging. So although there are some inherent biases in this approach, obviously it can still provide valuable information to assist management and conservation decision-making, including approximations of disease prevalence in the general population, species variation in disease susceptibility, clinical syndrome, standardization of diagnostic protocols, development of medical approaches, therapeutics, and outcomes associated with various pathogens. And we can use this information to make population-wide inferences that we can apply to the general wildlife population, and also then in turn apply that to rehabilitating wildlife to inform and improve future outcomes. So that's just my introduction, and now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my And we also found that 10 out of 25 of the turtles had exfoliated black plaques, which histologically and molecularly were consistent with SB, but these turtles were significantly more likely to survive rehab, and focused for them had spontaneous tumor regression, whereas none of the other turtles had other types of tumors had spontaneous tumor regression. So if you have black tumors, it's good. Laser surgery is treatment of choice for tumor removal, and we found in a study that the number of surgeries is not significantly related to case outcome, so a turtle could have up to 6 tumor removal surgeries, and it wouldn't necessarily affect the outcome of the case. So here's a good example. This turtle had severe SB with the patient at the Marathon Regional Hospital. She was fine. This is a pretty nasty case. So here she is having her tumor removal surgery, and then this is the same animal. So just because they look horrible doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have a bad outcome. So I think that's important to know. However, we also found in that study that 38.5% of turtles that had their tumors removed experienced tumor regrowth within 36 days. So here's a turtle, these are little SB lesions that are developing an inguinal region. This is the day that they were removed right after surgery, and then 15 days later, these tumors are back and they're still worse than before. And just because what we know about herpes biology, right? So herpes is for life, as we all know. And just because you're removing the tumors, you're not removing the virus. So that's why it's so important to bring the health of the turtle up, as well as removing the tumors, because the turtle's nervous system has to be able to combat the virus as well. To cover this study, this little study, we came up with a lot of recommendations for rehabilitators, including for green turtles trying to release them within 90 days, if at all possible, to avoid tumor involvement in captivity. So once they develop tumors, then you're in for the long haul. The animal has to be able to survive in its current condition, like I told you guys before. But we also came up with the recommendation that mild, stable, spontaneous SB that's not progressing, and the animal's otherwise healthy, healthy blood values, they can still be candidates for release, and this wasn't recommended before. So because of what we know about herpes virus, we know that they're not going to get rid of that disease, and the most important thing is that the turtle overall is healthy. So not just because they have tumors doesn't necessarily mean they can't be released. We recommend that they're released where they're found to avoid introduction of new disease to a naive population, water temperature over 18 degrees per bird, and if possible, exposed traffication, like I told you before. We did the same thing for waterhead sea turtles in southeastern United States. We found that 3 rehab facilities. Just basically, briefly, we found that SB is not really a problem for waterheads. They can get tumors, but they're typically incidental or mild. They are usually not that aggressive. Interestingly, they get these oral tumors that green turtles in this area don't really get. They get a lot of ocular tumors, but they're usually mild. And exposure to green turtles is a risk factor for waterheads in captivity. So we recommend that green turtles are kept quarantined away from all other species, and then green turtles with SB are kept at even higher level quarantine away from all other green turtles. However, we did find in the study that for individual waterhead SB species, a huge problem, just kind of like how it is in people, could be, so we had this one patient who had severe SB. She was really sick with her intestinal tract, so she was euthanized. And but we actually learned a lot about the turtle, and so far there have been 3 studies, and I'm involved in a 4th just on this one turtle alone. She provided us with a lot of information, even though she died. So ongoing research, what I'm doing now to follow up with this is I'm doing it again. I'm doing case series analysis on a much bigger scale, and including all species, not just green sea turtles. I'm involving the Marathon Regional Hospital, Georgia Sea Turtle Center, the Whitney Lab, the Brevard Zoo, and the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, hopefully. And we think we'll have hundreds of cases in this study, so hopefully we'll get a lot more of this type of information that can then be passed on to rehabilitators. The questions that we're asking are, does SB accurately predict rehabilitation outcomes? What percent of green turtles are going to regrow? In what time frame does the regrowth occur? And is there a big gap before the other same here, rehabilitating green sea turtles using molecular biology. In this study, I developed validated and optimized PCR assay. PCR stands for protein reaction. It's a way for us to test and quantify pathogen DNA. This method is research quantification of viral DNA. The assay is extremely specific, very sensitive, and it's repeatable and robust. And using this assay, I evaluated the relationship between pathogen virus DNA
the kidneys are a site of persistent viral infection, probably related to the presence of the viral DNA in urine, pointing to a urinary route of viral excretion. Also, the presence of the viral DNA in nerve points to, again, potentially a site of latency of this virus, which is typical of this type of virus. And the site where we found virus-positive nerves were nerve cells that innervated parts of the body that had tumors. So we found an ocular nerve, an optic nerve that was positive for the virus in the turtle that had a tumor in that eye. We found brachial plexus nerves that were positive for the virus in turtles that had tumors in the slippers, and so it supports that idea. So when we put all this information together, we can kind of get a sense of this chronic herpes virus infection cycle, whereby the virus, this is our little virus, enters the skin, enters the host. We're not sure of all the transmission routes at this point. The virus undergoes primary replication and then disseminates throughout the body via blood and or nerve, probably to the kidneys and potentially other sites of persistent secondary infection. The virus probably establishes latency, maybe in nerves, maybe in other things. The virus is then shed. We know the virus is shed through the skin and through tumors, and maybe through the urine as well. And then to follow up on this research, now I'm doing a study with the University of Florida and the Brevard Zoo, where we're looking at abnormal kidney samples from green sea turtles. So you can see this top turtle, this is a normal kidney sample here, and then this is in situ in the turtle. And then this is an abnormal kidney. We have generalized severe fibrosis trapped through the medullary region, and this lesion is extremely common in juvenile green turtles in Florida, to the point where it has been called normal because it's so common, and we're wondering if maybe it's due to herpes virus infection. And so for this study, what we're doing is, again, molecular biology, parasitology, to see if maybe these types of lesions test positive for the clonid herpes virus, and maybe that's why we're seeing those lesions even though these turtles don't have tumors. And throughout this research, we found a lot of subclinical disease carriers. So you guys may not realize it, but subclinical disease carriers are really important within the epidemiology of a disease. So the fact that we have animals that are infected but asymptomatic points to environmental and or host factor that plays a role in tumor development, like I said before. It also suggests that this virus is endemic in some populations. These animals serve as a reservoir. You can see in this diagram, these are the subclinical infected animals. They serve as a reservoir that can lead to infections in susceptible animals, just as, to some extent as much as clinical animals can serve as a source of infection. And so they can be a source of viral dissemination within a population. And this actually probably explains why there was one study where they looked at the viral exposure of this virus in green turtles in Florida, and some really high percentages of exposed turtles in populations that had zero tumor prevalence. So how did they become infected if none of the turtles have tumors? So this is a likely explanation for that. To follow up on that study, we're now doing a study on loggerhead and green sea turtles in North Carolina. Historically, FD has not been a problem for sea turtles in North Carolina. However, it's becoming more and more prevalent, either because the water is getting warmer or sea turtles are transmitting it northward, or both. We're not sure. We're just doing a survey of free-ranging turtles, working with NOAA to get samples from them, and also rehabilitating turtles at the Caring Deeply Rehab Facility to see if we can identify the prevalence of the virus in asymptomatic turtles, the subclinical turtles. I'm doing another study. So in all these pictures, you may have realized, or you may have noticed that the tumors can take lots of different types of appearances. They can be flat black, they can be sessile and smooth, they can be papillomatous, a common presentation in Florida, or they can be polyploid and smooth like grape. And in another study, they noticed that there are 4 different variants of this virus in Florida. There's A, C, and D. D has only been reported in loggerheads, and A, B, and C have been reported in green. And so it got me to wondering, are these viral variants related to tumor morphology? So does the variant identity predict what the tumor looks like, and therefore is virulent within the host? So we're doing a study now with the Marathon Sea Turtle Hospital. We're looking at using molecular biology to look at virus variant identity in loggerheads and greens again, and statistically evaluating those relationships between morphology, or tumor morphology, species, and variants, and looking at those free-ranging and rehabilitating turtles, comparing the results. So just to summarize, overall, I think I tried to make it clear that wildlife rehabilitation has both benefits and drawbacks. It can have conservation benefits in cases of threatened or endangered populations, but the most important concept to me is that access to wildlife provides an excellent avenue for disease research and education. And I just want to thank all of my collaborators. I work with a lot of people, certainly could not have done any of this stuff alone, including the rehab facilities at University of Georgia and Harvard Bridge. And I'll take any questions, and also this is my email address. If you have other questions or want to email me, have ideas you want to share, please feel free. Thank you very much.
So, as I said, I wanted to hear a little bit on less than 2 years. When I first came down here, I didn't really expect studying on local. It's something I studied in the past. It's something I'm trained to do, and I enjoy doing it, but I was doing other kind of research when I got here. And I think during this talk, you'll kind of see a history of what got me into just the last year, trying to study this phenomenon. It's a pretty important topic, as I'm sure you all know. Because I've been here a relatively short time, I have a lot of people to thank, because you come here, you don't know anything, essentially. You can read papers about the area, but it doesn't really tell you that much. A lot of people have local experiences, you can talk to them. And I'm indebted to many, many people. There's probably even the entire list. And not only people, but some of the organizations around here are quality people, working in the districts, have been great dealing with, and some of the funding agencies in this area for studying. We have some people to do this kind of research, and a lot of times they actually want to do it. My hope is that this list will keep on getting longer and longer. So I actually gave a keynote lecture about a month ago at the Indian River Women's Symposium. And the title of the symposium this year was the IRL and Estuary Apparel. And if you actually saw that talk, you can see some of the same slides, so pretty confusing. But the IRL, we all know what it is. It's this very long lagoon which stretches about 40% of coastline of Florida. And it's obviously a critical and really diverse ecological resource for us, but it's also a really important economic resource. And the 2016 report that came out showed that it had approximately an $8 billion annual economic value. So I mean, this is really critical to us, and we do need to take care of it. Now, the reason it's an estuary apparel, and the symposium was named after that, is pretty simple. It's because of what we call eutrophication. And if you're not familiar with what that is, basically when you do a lot of development around an area and change the land use practices, we all live by the ocean, so we have a lot of houses. We strip a lot of the native vegetation away, which is change in land use and how nutrients might get sucked up by our local plants. Once you start doing that, you increase the amount of point and non-point source pollution that potentially get into the system that you're surrounding. That's pretty much what happens. This happens all over the world. And we call that eutrophication. And what that leads to, eventually, is degraded water quality and a damaged environment. And when we add in the effects of climate change, and in this case, our local waters are getting warmer. We don't have as many freezing events anymore. The IRL is so long, it encompasses 2 different climate zones, temperate and subtropical. It's getting warm enough that we're seeing what they call tropicalization. It's turning into one type of tropical system. It's losing its temperate characteristics. And so that all together, what you end up getting is an increase in harmful levels. So during 2016, I'm sure everyone here knows this, the IRL was a national fund, and for not very good reason. You can find a state sampling of many stories that are written both nationally and locally on the harmful levels of funds there. Matter of fact, I think somebody told me so that was tonight. I gave another interview on this fund. It's a hot topic here. And the reason that this was in the news, we had 2 major harmful levels of events. We have, but the harmful levels of events. And in the north, we had a very large bloom of the species called Oriole abundances. And we call it brown tide. Obviously, the water looks like coffee. It's very, very chocolate brown color. In the south, we had a bloom of Microcystis organosus cyanobacteria. It's a toxic cyanobacteria. And obviously, we call it the green tide for green. That's easy to understand. Now, this organism here actually is not toxic, but it still has very harmful effects. Now, I'll talk about both of these a little bit more as we go on. So, what is a harmful level bloom or a have? And specifically, it's just a dangerous concentration of phytoplankton. And here's an example of one phytoplankton that I studied, especially a harmful level bloom organism called the Casiolocyanea. And you can see it swims around just as flagellate. It's a flagellated algae if you move around. And you can imagine if all these swim up to the surface, you can get those massive concentrations that you see. But we'll back it up a little bit further. You may not even know what phytoplankton is. If you were here last year, I gave a long talk on this. But phytoplankton that cause these harmful algal blooms are simply microscopic plants, and we commonly call them algae. Now, the one thing that's interesting about these, you just saw, well, they're swimming plants. So they're not exactly perfect. You could just try to put plants also like rodents. They have characteristics of animals too, but fundamentally they are plants. They consume photosynthesis. And this group of organisms also includes photosynthetic bacteria. So these are eukaryotic organisms. They have a microscopic good, but there's a whole bunch of these harmful algae that are actually bacteria, cyanobacteria in particular. And if you look at the size of these, this is a scale of our 50 microns. This is that organism I showed in the video. And 50 microns is less than the diameter of your hair. So they're really small. You can barely see them. And this is the case. These little spheres you see in here, those are individual cells of a colony of things. So these are really small. These are about 3 to 4 microns size. This is a colonial organism. So all of the cells kind of stick together. And this is actually a shot of that organism, Microcystis, that moved in the St. Lucie estuary. So that's what that looks like close up. You can see that nice green color. So when you get massive accumulations of these different types of algae, you get all these different types of what we call basically color tides. We have red tides, green tides, brown tides, and we just name them because of the color simply. And a lot of the original these are called harmful red tides. That was the common. And the reason for that was these are some of the common ones we could see. These are xenoflagelate blooms. They have a kind of a reddish pigment to them, and when they come to the surface, the water was blood red. But here we get these green tides and brown tides, and it's just the pigment that's in the water that gives the color of the water. Now these are really large blooms, but there's one thing it's good for you to understand, and that's you do not need to have one of these massive blooms that you can visually see in the water for there to be a harmful algal bloom. There's a lot of what we call cryptic paths. And this simple diagram shows biomass, the amount of something on this scale, on this axis, versus the depth of the water. The shape is up, but you can have one organism that's like this, but we have a lot of it up here in the water column, it kind of varies with depth. This would be a harmless phytoplankton. It's good for the environment, they feed on it. And then this line here, you can have a very small amount of something buried underneath all this other biomass. And this could be highly toxic, it could be a harmful algal bloom. And you would never know it's there. You would just say, oh, this is dominating, and you would barely detect that organism is there. But that could be just as dangerous as one of those very large biomass blooms you see. So you can have perfectly blue, clean-looking water, and there could still be harmful algae at high densities that hurt. And so just don't think because the water looks clean that there's nothing dangerous in it. But that's something that shows you. So just to drive that home, when you see something like this is the shot of the St. Lucie estuary, during the Microcystis bloom we had this summer, very obviously a lot of biomass. There's millions of cells per milliliters of tiny volumes of water. That's incredibly dense. But at the same time, you ever have a bloom of this organism, which is Xenophytus, it's very toxic. It's just 100 cells per milliliter. And it can be very dangerous. And that's 100% of that other organism. And yet it's still going to be there, and it's still dangerous, you can never know by looking at the water. So before we rail on phytoplankton, it's typical. We have to be like, phytoplankton are not always bad, they're almost always good. But occasionally, we have some bad. And the reason they're always good is because they're photosynthetic organisms. They take in carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and chloroplast makes glucose, which is a building block of sugar, and release oxygen. And if you look at the size of our oceans, which are filled with phytoplankton, the phytoplankton are responsible for greater than 50% of the oxygen we breathe in the primary production. They're the base of the world's food chain. Without them, we would not be here. Hardly any life on Earth would be here. So they're obviously really important. So how are these algal blooms actually harmful when they occur? And there's 3 primary mechanisms. I'm going to go through all 3 of these, and I'm going to start with toxins, but they can also do mechanical damage, and these high biomass blooms like we saw here this past summer, I'll describe what they do. So for the toxin thing, why do the algae produce toxins? Which is a common question, and there's 2 primary reasons why. One is what we call alleliopathy, and this is essentially chemical warfare on their competitors. They produce some of these chemicals that if they're with another type of algae, and that chemical gets into that other algae, this is a micrograph that I'm showing that, xenoplasmoid, so it's another xenoplasmoid toxin. It actually indicates that the cells swell up and just explode. It kills it. So it's a way of getting rid of your competitors. They also produce toxin as a predator defense. Phytoplankton are eaten by what we call zooplankton, little crustaceans in the ocean. As an example of one right here, let's look at the lobster. It grabs phytoplankton and eats them. But if it eats a phytoplankton that's actually toxic, it can actually suppress its feeding. They don't like the toxin. It can suppress their reproduction, so this organism won't grow that well, if at all. And it can also suppress their motility. They get very slow and sluggish. And now they're susceptible to being preyed on by larger animals like fish. So they're essentially using that to get rid of predators on them so they can grow uncontrolled. There's nothing to keep them down. Now, there's not just one kind of toxin. These organisms, there's a lot of different organisms that are toxic. The IRL is probably up to 40 different species of algae that produce a number of different toxins, but there's many, many different toxins. So I'm going to go through most of the common ones that we're aware of and explain what they do. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what we call paralytic shellfish poisoning. And you're going to notice in all these names, they always say some kind of shellfish poisoning. And that's the initial way that most people got when these poisonings happen, they get it from shellfish. The shellfish is the easiest way. Shellfish filter the water, they eat algae, that's how they get the food, and they can get large concentrations of toxin in them, and then someone goes to eat a mussel or an oyster, and they get a large dose of toxin. But just because it's shellfish poisoning, fish have it too. So it's not just shellfish, it just happens to be the way these things are named. So one of the most common ones is called paralytic shellfish poisoning, or PSP. And this is created by a toxin called saxifrage. And the two organisms in the IRL that produce this and occur fairly regularly are this one right here called Pyrogenium bonanis. It's a dinoflagellate. It's also bioluminescent, so if you've been in the northern IRL in the summertime and seen the water glowing, it's almost guaranteed it's this organism. Just remember, it's also highly toxic when you're out there playing it. And this other one is called Alexandrium latum. This is the chain forming dinoflagellate as well, which one is an individual cell. And I've seen this in the IRL this year, down in the same yesterday. So if you eat shellfish or fish that are exposed to these toxins, you're going to start out with a low dose of it with nausea. The more you eat, you're going to start to get paralysis to the point that your muscles aren't going to work, you're going to die. And this is a really potent neurotoxin. Now, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, it's on Wikipedia, so take it for what not that actually really true. During the Industry Spy Plane program, with Jerry Powers during the Cold War, and they're going over Russia, they actually gave the pilots suicide pills with Zolifexon. So it's a really strong neurotoxin. It's also classified as a chemical warfare agent. It's actually weaponized, so it's really dangerous. It's really common in war. The second type of poisoning you can get is neurotoxic shellfish poisoning, or NSP, and this is created by bretotoxins, or is it multiple organisms that can make these toxins, the two that are common down here. Most of you have probably heard of this in some form. This is called Corellia brevis. Really, really common on the West Coast. They have problems with this almost every single summertime. So much so they named it the Florida red tide. It happens a lot. It does bloom over here occasionally. Last time I got a major bloom over there was 2007. There's other species that they get this Chatanella that's actually getting this right off the channel here this summer as well. So if you eat something that has bretotoxins in it, you're again going to have nausea, you're probably going to vomit, you get numbness. A lot of times if you eat shellfish, if you're a bit single, stop eating right away. That's from all these toxins, that's a big hint that you're being poisoned. The biggest thing is respiratory distress. When they have these big wounds on the West Coast, people down in the ocean and they start coughing. They don't feel good. They get into your lungs, and you will not be happy. The thing about bretotoxins is I don't think they can really kill you. I don't know if it's a reported instance of someone dying from bretotoxins. I know they can hurt other marine mammals and possibly death. I'm not aware of a human dying of bretotoxin poisoning. It's still not fun. You get it. Another type of poisoning is diuretic shellfish poisoning. You probably started to realize that the name tells you what's going to happen to you. This is ESP. This is created by a toxin called glutamic acid. Two organisms that can produce this that are local to the IRL waters, diaphragmatic proto syndrome. Now, these occur in the IRL. But the thing that is important to remember for some of these, not all, some will occur here, but no one has seen them express the toxicity. And when I say that, the organisms can occur, but yet not make toxins. But then something can happen in the environment to actually make it produce toxins, become dangerous. So just because it occurs here doesn't mean this toxin is always going to be there. But it always has the potential to be there. And again, if you get DSP, you're going to have nausea, you're going to vomit, and you're going to have intense slavery. It's not going to be a fun thing. This is a really bad form of shellfish poisoning, and this is actually, unfortunately, pretty common too, like that. This is called amnesia shellfish poisoning, or ASP. And unlike all these other ones I just showed you, which are created by dinoflagellates, things that I study a lot, this is actually created by diatom, another type of phytoplankton. It's not local. And here's an example here. This ammonic acid that it produces is really nasty, and this is a fairly large problem on the west coast of the U.S. up there, Oregon, Washington. But right now, where I came from, our shellfish fishery shut down up there. They have a massive just right now. They found very, very high levels of local shellfish. The shellfish are explosive. If you eat something contaminated with ammonic acid, you're going to have memory loss, potentially permanent brain damage, and death. This is a really, really nasty poison. This is one that most of you are probably familiar with down here in the tropics. This is more of this is an organism that tends to live in very warm waters, so down in the Caribbean. Ciguatera, fish poison, most people have heard of it, some form. It's produced by, again, this lithium flagellate, it's a ciguatoxin of Ciguatera, and this is an epiphytic flagellate. It actually grows on like seagrass and on substrates. So when fish come off and bite coral or bite seagrass and eat or whatever, they actually ingest it, and they get Ciguatera toxin inside of them. Ciguatera, as far as I know, you can't get rid of it quickly, so it's pretty local fish, so toxin remains. Ciguatera is another one, obviously nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle pain, ataxia. Ataxia is when you can't control your muscles, you just kind of get lose control, and eventually you get hallucinations. Ciguatera is another one that is not actually fatal to anyone. It's great. You're ruining your weekend, you're going to feel really bad, but you're probably not going to die from it. That's cold comfort. The last thing I want to talk about are what are called cyanotoxins, and this is a really large class of toxins created by cyanobacteria. You're going to hear a lot about cyanobacteria. This is the organism that grew in the streams of the estuary that came from Lake Okeechobee. They're one of the most common forms of algae out there. They're pretty much everywhere across the whole world. Any freshwater pond is going to have cyanobacteria in it. Everywhere you look in the ocean, you're going to find cyanobacteria. It's a really common phytoplankton. They produce a whole suite of toxins. This is a few of them, mycocystin, DMAA, toxins. And all these are class of toxins. They neurotoxins, liver toxins, cytotoxins, endotoxins. They pretty much make everything. They're really, you know, what you're going to get. And these all exist. We have all these in the Indian River Lagoon. This is the mycocystis that grew down in the same estuary. This is actually called Lingia. It's a epiphytic cyanobacteria that grows on seagrass. You might see it looking match, and it produces a whole class of toxins, which aren't very nice. And these are pretty common here. So, they don't have to be toxic, be dangerous. So that was our fourth of the toxins, but there's a lot of ways these wounds can actually hurt wildlife. This is a pretty common one out on the west coast. This is actually a very close-up micrograph of a diatom pustule or a cell wall. And if you look at these feet, they come off the cell, you see these sharp barbs on here. This is a glass shell, it's silicone. That's what this diatom actually makes for its cell wall. So these are essentially real nice. Well, these organisms get into the gills of salmon, which is really common out west. They cut their gills apart, and they kill them. And there's been massive fish gills on the west coast and the salmon fisheries from this organism. So another thing that can happen, and this is right from the Mosquito Lagoon, this is our brown tide that happened last year. Actually, that organ is still up there. It's not as high as right now. If you have a case like this, these two fish tanks were filled with the same exact water with a bunch of phytoplankton. But this one over here had some moisture shellfish. Different kinds of shellfish are really good at filtering the water. That's how they get the food. They take the algae out of it, that's what they eat. And you can see how quickly they clean this up. But when you have one of these particular blooms, this algae produces this mucus on the outside of itself. And when this mucus gets into clams, shellfish, oysters, whatever, that mucus irritates them. They don't like it in their feeding gills. And it'll essentially clam up and they won't feed anymore. And it'll open again, it'll try it again, and it's the same algae up there, and you just have this weak bloom that constantly goes on. Eventually the shellfish will starve. They just will use the feed and will die. So when you have a bloom like this, you can have massive die-off of shellfish. Even though technically it's not toxic, it's still going to kill. Now we get to the third issue with these big blooms. This is when we have a really high biomass blooms, extremes that have just like occurred here last summer with the microcystis and the brown tide Aureolumba. So when you have that, and you have seagrass all along the lagoon, seagrass is really important for a lot of animals, fisheries, and such. They're on the bottom, and they need the sunlight to penetrate through the water to get to the bottom so they can grow their plant. Well, those algae take the sun away. That water, light from the sun never reaches the bottom. It gets absorbed by the algae, and it never gets down, and all the seagrass beds will die. They have the light, they're not able to survive. During the super bloom in 2011, massive amounts of seagrass beds were lost in the lagoon. It just shaded them all. So I go back to my phytoplankton are not always bad slide. They're not always bad, most of the time they're good. But at night, large amounts can really bad without being toxic. The reason for this is the following. Plants at nighttime, they're not going to be specifically what we do. We eat, we breathe oxygen, we produce CO2 and water vapor. Plants do the exact same thing at night. They use their stored up glucose, they take in oxygen, release carbon dioxide, and water. Now the problem is, we have a really large amount of phytoplankton, and at nighttime, they all start using the oxygen. You get this. The fish can't breathe. We call it hypoxia or anoxia. They die. What if I live? They're going to die. This is from the Indian River Lagoon, almost exactly this time last year. And it was caused by that brown tide up in the north. Yeah, it's just pretty devastating. However, this is not a unique thing. So these hot water blooms just didn't start in the last couple of years. If we go back and look at the literature of what's done here, we have over 50 years of recorded hot water events in the IRL. Not a new thing at all. And back in the old days, there were a lot of neophyte blooms. And I'll tell you one thing I did with this. All these are the pictures of the algae that are listed here. And they're all relative to the size of this one. Because obviously it's about 50 microns in size, which the diameter here is microscopic. But all these are relative to that one. And as you go through this, you can see all these neophyte blooms, the Korean predators, I was talking about 2007. But when we get to the last decade, this is what we see blooming here now. What you see right away, they're a lot smaller. We're starting to see this change from what used to happen to these different kinds of phytoplankton that we see really high biomass, what we call phytoplankton. They're really, really small. And this is when a lot of people start to think we finally hit a tipping point. We've hit a station where the IRL is not looking interesting. And we're starting to get these really, really large, extreme events. So now we get to the point of talk. I'm going to talk about how, in this last year, I've been really studying hot water blooms here. So a few days before that large fish meal I just showed you that happened in March of 2016, we knew this big bloom was going on there. I heard from saying that you see people at that point in the same time for 40 minutes, this rate, and they some phytoplankton monitoring, and they told us this is really, really large up there. That might be a phytoplankton biologist very interested in that. Well, it turns out another fact we've never heard in life, hung out with skydivers who were happening to be going over the Sebastian Inlet, and they took some pictures. And they brought the pictures to me, and they said, look, has this bloom made it all the way down to the Sebastian Inlet? I mean, has it taken all the way half of the bloom? I thought, wow, that's really interesting. I need to go sample that. I need to go find out just my own curiosity. So I planned to go find out if this thing is spreading over the entire lagoon. And then the fish were happening. There's a couple days after we were talking about doing this in the lab, it happened. It's like, okay, now we're definitely have to do it. So I was up there. I think it was the day after. The fish were up for it. And we did a really quick sampling plan. The fish happened up here in the northern part of the lagoon. We looked at 6 stations. They're all starred here. And in the first 3 stations, that's what's presented here, station 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is not a normal microscopic picture of algae. This is what we call heavy fluorescent shock. It has one kind of light and it glows another kind of light. And the light that it gives off is kind of indicative of the pigments that it has. This is chlorophyll A. These are red fluorescent. But if they have other pigments, you get a different color of light on them. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's there. In this case, it was all this Aureolumba. They were greater than 1 million cells per milliliter. You can also count them when you do this. And there were a few interesting things I found when we were doing this. One is you can see this is all the same thing, but these are much smaller. But these are much smaller. What's tricky is that these are growing extremely fast over here, but they're not growing as fast when you get down to here. This is where the bulk of the fish kill actually occurs too. And the other thing that I want to note about this is that was a really extreme fish kill. And I don't actually think the water went anoxic, which means there was no oxygen, it was just low oxygen. Well, the same problem that the clams have when they are trying to filter this thing and they don't like it, that mucus can get into the fish's gills. And those gills get coated with mucus, they can't dissolve oxygen through their gills. So I would guess, I don't attempt to, but if you request something new, that this mucus played a role in that mucus get into the fish, and what they could normally probably distill with oxygen, they couldn't. It just was a contributing factor to just like the number of fish that they killed. So there's another mechanical reason why the fish killed so bad. So the next thing I want to do is look down here, and I guess my original question had this spread. In fact, it had not at all. It wasn't a bloom down there, but it was a totally different group of blooms. And you can tell right away, everybody talks about the color. Well, you can see that it's not all green. They're all different sizes of things. One is a tiny, they're very hard to see. You can see it's kind of like green, yellowish fluorescent. That is indicative of cyanobacteria. There's a lot of cyanobacteria here. And other phytoplankton, little tiny things, we can't identify using microscope. They're too small and they have no identifying marks on them. You can say we know what it is. In fact, it's kind of scary. We know almost nothing about the population. We don't even know what species they are. There's a lot of them out there. This is a very big bloom, almost as much as was up there. Totally different from Florida. So that was March. And in April, I had a second chance to get some samples. Now I get cooked. I want to know what was going on out there. And another professor here, Brian Point, does this whole IRL sampling. You can see all the red dots that are involved through this. He takes water samples for nutrients and other things that all these spaces. And I asked him if he can get us bring us some water without looking at phytoplankton right now. See if there's anything on here, see if this bloom is in fact starting to spread or anything. So much later, there was still a smaller fish still. So he obviously agreed. So I bring a sample. And our first set came up here in the Mosquito Lagoon. And in fact, even in April, that Aureolumba bloom, that brown tide was still going strong. There was a ton of it up there. And this is actually what it looks like through a microscope. If you come to my lab, it looks like this is what you see. And they're just little tufts. You can't really identify them, but it's pretty much all that's in there. It's a ton of these little cells. As we started to move down into the northern IRL and the top of the Banana River, again, it was totally dominated by the Boreal umbra. If you look at it, like the last slide, it was different. It had taken over almost the entire area. Now we started to see, only started to see a change again right where I started to see the marking. It does not get down to the Sebastian inlet area at all. It's pretty much still here at the bottom of the Banana River. But once you start getting into here, you start to see a shift. You see a shift in that color, and you start to see other algae that hit the water column. So we're starting to see change. And once we get into the central IRL, it's fully different now. This is that cyanobacterial bloom right up here. It has actually cancer, more cyanobacteria. And then once we get down to the central IRL, we start to see what looks like a more normal phytoplankton population with a healthy zooplankton population with it as well. Because that's what this is over here. They were feeding on it. It was starting to look a little bit healthier in some ways. Well, this is a aqua diatom right here. It's more acid potential. So there's still aqua algae around. And we finally get down to these, looking at these bottom samples, down here Jupiter and St. Lucie Inlet, we saw a full-on, what you consider a healthy coastal looking sample for it with zooplankton. And it's probably like this down there because there's so much flushing, there's 3 acre inlets around this area, and it has to get a lot of exchange with ocean water. So at this point, after seeing that data, I started to realize what already we had in our hands. And I'm the first one to pick this, but how do we approach, if we learn about aqua blooms and what we do and understand them and what we do, how do we approach doing this? It's really huge, it's really diverse, it's really complex. And scientifically, it's great, it's a challenge, but how do we deal with doing it? The way we're dealing with doing it is a big for money, because it takes a lot of money to do this kind of science. It's a lot of time. So that's exactly what I did. I got really energized and said, you know what, we need to do a better job. We just need to do this. I started calling every federal agency trying to get money. And I actually was successful. NOAA, the National Centers for Coastal Ocean and Science, they have a aqua bloom event response program. I called them responsible for many days, convinced them to do it, but they eventually gave us money to actually start going out and monitoring wells out there. They put it on their national website. It was good for them to do it. They listened to it, so we could develop a mission business. And the way we sold this to them, last one film, was that we can't go out there and continually take these samples and bring it back to the labs. We were intended, it's not a smart way to do it. But we have satellites and remote sensing that can look at the lagoon all at once. And if we can figure out a way to discriminate the bloom, we can look at its variability of descent development really quickly. You know, we can tell, well, this that algae, is this a different kind of algae here? And the way we do that, discriminate what it's on, is by looking at combining remote sensing with in situ optics so that we know the characteristics of the water, the optics of the water, that we can apply to what satellites see or drones see, and apply to quickly assess what's there without having to go out there constantly and take them. So in May of 2016, we got moved down, we finally got the money in place, and back in my lab, we did this, we did a bunch of transects up through the entire bloom area, all the way down to the Sebastian Inlet. This is some folks in my lab. Shania, Malcolm McFarland, Nicole Stockley, and we brought all our high-tech optical instrumentation out there and transected the water. We had a flow cytometer, we're taking water samples from Brian, looking at nutrients. We did pretty much everything we do. We generated a lot of great data. I want to go through it all. We looked at how the different organisms change over time, essentially. We looked at how the dominance changed. We looked at the optics of it. This is reflected such as we'll color the lights come off the water. One thing I will know is that we were taking stable nitrogen isotope samples, and what stable nitrogen isotope tell you is if they're enriched or depleted with certain amounts, it tells you the source of nitrogen. This is essentially pollution in this case that the algae are growing on. In this case, the nitrogen was enhanced 3 to 9% for N50, which is fingerprinting for sewage. So it will tell you that the nitrogen that is making this very large bloom go is probably some kind of septic or sewage runoff. That's not a great surprise, but it was good to know. So that was May. We thought everything was going great. We started getting a handle on this, and then June and July came. This is a picture of Lake Okeechobee from space. See what's green stuff? This is that cyanobacteria, microcystis. And from space, you get such a sense of the level biomass of these blooms. We heard a rumor, again, with the grapevine, you get monitoring now, very large blooms developing in Lake Okeechobee. You get back from the satellites, the science that, looked at it, sure enough, we can see it from space very clearly like this, we know it's an incredible bloom. Well, the problem is we also had a flooding last spring, and the lake gets really full, they gotta release it, and now 44 is here, and now 44 leads to the St. Lucie estuary. So all this, right there. This algae doesn't grow in the St. Lucie estuary natively, it's a freshwater algae. The St. Lucie estuary is the salt estuary. But it gets a shift, it actually, if you put it there, it can actually survive for quite some time if the soil is stable enough and actually grow. And this is highly toxic, unlike the brown dye, which produces microcystin, which is a panicon, it'll wreck your liver. We also are pretty certain this produces some form of glucose as well. So then, when that happened, we decided, oh, well, we're going to go down there and start doing the same thing. So we went down and went up the science machine and started to take measurements and do our work there. And at that point, I started getting involved with Martin County and started actually testing the toxin in the water, both during the bloom and after to see, at what point is the toxin low enough in the water to save again. So I got involved with them doing that. And then we also realized there's very little monitoring for algae down there at all. Now, there is some north, the St. John's Water Management District, about once a month, will take samples at about just 8 locations. But no one's doing it in the south at all now. Now, Jazz Habitat here has his logo array. They can do River Lagoon Observatory and have throughout the maintenance on them every 3 or 4 weeks. And while they're out there, they now collect water for it. So we can monitor at all the local stations that are throughout the area. We can monitor the phytoplankton that are in now. So we will get some warning that something's going on. So we're still doing that today. That should be a really nice data set. Go with environmental data. Get the local collect. So I'm going to kind of summarize my summer past 2016. Up here in the north, we had very much outside the Oriole Umbra. The higher the air, which is the second toxin, bloomed again. It was almost every single year up in the north part of the lagoon, and it bloomed again this year. We obviously had this very large cyanobacteria bloom that persisted around the Sebastian Inlet area. In Vero Beach, there was a local bloom, only the bloom contributed in the Vero area, where we started local people call us and tell us that they saw water around the docks, around the John Brown area. So I actually got one getting access to the dock, and when I tested it, and it's this little spider called Schiphthia. This is not toxic, but it was a high enough biomass that could have caused one of these hypoxic events up there. So still, because of the nuisance zone, it ended up blowing. But here on now, we saw a couple large blooms. We saw one at Chapanella, which definitely can produce toxins. It can produce toxins. We had something we couldn't even identify, but massive blooms that we see just look out in the day, look out there and see those blooms. Obviously, in Lake Okeechobee,